Okay, now can you hear us? Anyone hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great, thank you. You just missed roll call, that's it.
Okay, so roll call, is there any public comment on items not on the agenda? Okay, we have 19 items in the consent agenda. The vast majority are employment agreements. Is there anything that needs to be pulled out or discussed separately?
That we approve the consent agenda.
Second, any further discussion or public comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Action items, Lana.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I have a quick claim deed for you to approve and sign for transfer of Butler Creek Park 1 East and West and Kestrel Park 2 East and West to be transferred to the city of Missoula. I'm gonna share my screen so I can pull up a map for you, just so we can visually see what we're talking about.
Thank you.
I pulled up the wrong screen. Let me try again.
All good.
Okay. So Butler Creek, 1 West and
It's a bit of a
lag here.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. So Butler Creek 1 West and East are in brown. Kind of long slivers along Butler Creek. And then Kestrel Park 2 West and 2 East are in red and green. So 2 West was originally, we had an agreement that DeSmet was possibly going to purchase. They did not purchase within that time frame, and so all 4 of these parcels are going to be transferred to the city of Missoula. We entered into an interlocal agreement with the city in 2023 about parcels here in the development park, what would happen with them. And it kind of outlined the conditions before we would transfer parcels. So these parcels are going to be transferred to be managed by City Parks and Rec. And the 2 kind of conditions for transferring these parcels were to remove the blanket utility easements from parcels 1 East, 1 West, and 2 East, which we completed on April 3rd of this year. So by resolution, we attached it to the subdivision plat, removing those blanket easements. And then the second condition was to make sure that all associated water rights are transferred with these parcels. So we worked with the DNRC, and there are no water rights on record for these parcels. There is a well located on Kestrel Park, but no water right was applied for associated with this well. And so since the well is on the property, that will get transferred with the ownership of the property to the city. Yeah, so any questions about the deed or the transfer?
None for me.
None.
Okay.
Thank you. I would move that we approve the quick claim deed for Butler Creek Parks 1 East and 1 West and Kestrel 2 East and 2 West.
Second, any further discussion or public comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lana. Leftenheiser.
Yes.
I'm up. So what I'm asking today is to approve a contract with the Missoula Downtown Foundation. And this relates to our education assistant that we hired, I believe, in April of 2024. And the position was hired into a 30-hour-a-week position, which, as everybody knows, challenging to live in Missoula on a 30-hour-a-week position. So at the time, I'm involved with the Downtown Association or Foundation and the Unseen Tours, and they were looking for somebody that would help with kind of managing, giving tours, doing additional research, and things like that. So basically, things that were perfect for the skill set of an education assistant. So I had some conversations with Linda, and we eventually came to the idea of that organization kicking in for the wages for 10 hours a week to bump that position from a 30-hour week to a 40-hour week position. So we've hired that person as a 40-hour week county position. And then in return, we invoice the Downtown Foundation quarterly, and they provide, I think it's $2,500 a quarter, which covers that extra 10 hours per week. This will be the second year for the contract. First year went pretty well. I sat down with some of the folks at the Downtown Foundation and created a good scope of work for his work at the Downtown Foundation this coming year. But this is kind of a year-by-year basis to see. At some point, they may not need that extra 10 hours a week, but at this point, they still do. So this is just a one-year extension on that contract, having you sign that contract with the Downtown Foundation so we can keep him at 40 hours and hopefully help the Unseen program as well, too.
Thank you.
Is it the same person?
Yes. Yeah, it's Austin Haney, who's our education assistant at the museum.
I'm really glad we can do this.
It's a way for employee retention. Again, 30 hours a week is a tough go in Missoula, and he would have had to find something else. So being able to help him find something else in the community that utilizes those skills as a historic interpreter, but then also to benefit the Unseen program, which is a great program that's done through downtown. It's kind of a win-win for everybody, I think.
I have never gone on one of the Unseen tours.
You need to go on one, Dave. They're great. They really do a wonderful job.
How frequently do they do them over the summer?
Almost every week I think a couple times a week, even during the summer.
Yeah.
On the weekends as well.
I thought they did an evening one too. don't
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do evening ones. So Downtown Association Foundation website should have information on Unseen, or just Google Unseen Missoula Tours. And you should be able to find there's a reservation system they have set up. Austin does a number of the tours, but then, like I said, he also helps to refine tour scripts, do additional research to write new tours. When they had the space, the Hammond Arcade space, once they shut that, he helped to do all the inventory of everything that was down there. So he's been a good asset for them. And like I said, it benefits us. It helps to build those bridges with the Downtown Foundation and the work they're doing with Unseen.
I think we need to review the quality of the work being performed.
You should.
So
You could go on the tour, Dave. Yeah.
move that we approve the contract.
Second, any further discussion or public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, Jackson, Lee.
Randy.
Yeah, good morning,
Oh,
Commissioners.
Randy,
This is-
sorry.
No worries. This is Randy Arnold. I'll be pinch hitting for Jackson. He's got a competing event up at Marshall this morning. So this request is for the board to approve the expenditure of up to $176,581 of 2014 County Parks and Trails bond funds for the purpose of funding the trailhead facility improvements at Marshall Mountain Park. These were presented to the Missoula County Parks and Trails Advisory Board on May 15th, and they recommended passing this to the Board of County Commissioners. And then at a public meeting on July 1st, 2025, the Board of County Commissioners approved a qualifying resolution associated with this project. If approved, we would use these funds to support 3 panel kiosks for associated mapping and signage at the front or leading edge of the Marshall Mountain Trail system, bear-proof trash receptacles, bike racks, drinking fountains and water fill station, close proximity to the main trailhead, and an ADA compliant double vault restroom with an accessible approach. So a lot of what you would expect to see given the high demand for these trails, we just don't have the infrastructure at the trailhead right now. And if approved, we would also try to time these funds to be utilized as match for the upcoming land and water conservation fund requests so that we can really leverage these to a much broader application for infrastructure at Marshall Mountain. These funds would be specifically for trail, but it's all eligible match for the LWCF request.
Great.
Great, yes.
Yeah, excited to see these improvements. I would move that we approve the expenditure.
Second, any further discussion or public comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Great, thank
Randy.
you.
Rock Creek Project.
Rock Creek project, oh my gosh, we've been talking about this for a really long time. So just for a recap, in 2021, our office was approached by Missoula Electric Co-op to assist them in applying to a BRIC grant program, which is the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grants. That application was specifically to address kind of a mitigating wildfire that is caused from power lines in the Rock Creek drainage for a couple reasons. One, in that this particular stretch of Rock Creek is extremely steep. The power lines are literally up on a cliff. They call it Rock Creek for a reason. So anytime there was any kind of damage to the infrastructure, oftentimes they would have to use helicopters to reset poles, to bring crews up there to even see what the issues were. So high maintenance issue for Missoula Electric Co-op, but also in a valley that that power line infrastructure was mapped to be in a high risk area for that infrastructure causing wildfires from tree strikes. And so the project made really good sense. So back in 2021, right, and then that sat in the FEMA review queue for a really long time, lots of back and forth with environmental considerations. There was a bore that needed to occur underneath Rock Creek. And so why you have this today is that we had a subrecipient agreement with Missoula Electric Co-op when the first phase of the entire project was funded, which was back in 2023. And then the second phase of the entire project was awarded, and I just neglected to update the subrecipient agreement. So what you have before you today is the subrecipient agreement, same project, but it reflects the total cost of the project and in all phases. And so this should be the last time that we have to talk about this specific project. They have started work. Obviously, phase one was completed last year, but they've started work in burying those power lines in those segments of Rock Creek Road. And so we just needed to update the subrecipient agreement so that as those costs are incurred, we have the mechanism in place to pass that money through from the state to Missoula Electric Co-op per the grant agreement.
So this 1.2 is for the entire project, not just the phases. It's just.
This is the entire project inclusive of the first phase, which was already awarded and completed. So, and then as part of that, so this amount reflects the entire 100% of the grant award. So the BRIC program actually has gone away. So under the Trump administration, they've determined to not continue the Building Resilient Infrastructures and Communities grant program as it existed. Who knows what the next iteration will be? But because this project was already underway, it was allowed to continue, even though those funds had not been expended yet. They had been obligated.
Where
So-
did Brick live?
Under FEMA.
Oh, it was under FEMA. Okay.
Yeah. And so BRIC is the nationally competitive hazard mitigation program. Hazard mitigation grant program still exists, but that is an allocation to the states. It's not nationally competitive. So where was I going with that? Oh, so this may be one of the last BRIC projects that is funded in the state, which is kind of cool, I guess. But BRIC is structured in a way that 75% of the funding comes from the federal government, that 25% comes from local match. Missoula Electric Co-op had committed to that 25% from their own equity, but the state at the time, and still does, have their resiliency fund. And so the state is kicking in that 25% of resiliency funding. So the amount here reflects 100% of the total project award, including that 25%, because it will be coming from the state. And we'll just pass that through as well to Missoula Electric Co-op. This total, the 1.2 million, is not the entire cost of the project. There will be costs above and beyond that, but this is all that we will be obligated to kind of pass through as a reflection of the grant application.
Thank you.
Great. All right, well, let's approve the updated subrecipient agreement.
Second, any further discussion or public comment?
A couple questions.
Yeah.
So how does this kind of work with maybe Granite County? Because I know, Missoula County kind of jumps off on the other side of Rock Creek. Yeah, do they have a plan in place or anything?
So this project, there's 3 sections where they're gonna be burying the line, and those are all in Missoula County. But yes, to your point, there are checkerboards up in there with Granite County and Missoula County. Missoula Electric Co-op obviously is in communication with Granite County, but this specific project, the areas are within Missoula County.
Gotcha. And then for the BRIC grants or BRIC program, how long has that been around?
I don't know. I can find out though and let you know. Yeah.
Sure.
The entire time I've been in emergency management, so at least the last 13 years.
Sure. Great. That's all I got.
Okay, thanks, Griffin.
Like, I guess
Yeah.
either commissioners want to speak to wildfire resiliency.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, and this is Strohmeyer's baby.
What do you wanna
know? All things wildfire.
I mean, certainly there's a lot of, natural disasters that happen around. We had the windstorm almost 1 year ago today and started wildfires. So I guess, is this something the county's going to keep working on, especially now BRIC grants are going?
Yes, absolutely. BRIC was only a funding mechanism that would cover a percentage of our resiliency work that we would want to be doing and that we are doing here in Missoula County. It was an important piece, but certainly not the only piece of it. From just looking at the standpoint of infrastructure and electrical infrastructure, which can be both a cause of fires, but also impacted by wildfire on the landscape. And I should say, we live in fire adapted landscapes here. Fire is not something we're ever going to eliminate from the landscape, but you do have to be resilient and adapt to that reality. So it's important work that will continue
Yes.
in spite of administration changes.
Thank you. Okay, do we vote for this?
We have not.
Oh, okay. Do you have a motion?
I think I already did.
Oh, second. And any further discussion? Sorry. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, yeah, correspondence, discussion items, events. We're done. Thank you all.
Thank you.